What up, it's your boy Dvrth back at it again from another video, and today we're here with Stone Ocean episode 31. Last episode was insane. It was probably one of the craziest episodes of JoJo just off of what was happening alone. I was dumbfounded seeing what was going on. I didn't have much to say, honestly, and that's how you know I was just awestruck by the bizarreness. There's moments in JoJo where they kick the bizarreness up to 11. It's usually at 10, but when they kick it up to 11, it is insane to watch. And last episode was one of those episodes. Apparently, Weather Report is turning everybody into snails and is basically threatening the earth, life as we know it, by turning everyone into snails. I mean, when they say that this is JoJo's bizarre adventure, part 6 decided to take that bizarre part of the title, and they took it personal. They took it very, very personally. So we're just gonna hop straight into it, because I have no idea what to tell you. Hopefully we figure it out this episode, but hey, if we don't, then I hope that we at least get backstory for why the fuck this is happening. So with all that being said, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. You're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or something totally different, the best place to send that in is always my social media links, going to be in the description below. We also have Patreon if you want to get these episodes early or the full length reaction to these episodes. The link for the Patreon is going to be in the description as well. And we have Discord if you want to talk more JoJo or any other anime or show that we're watching on the channel. So with all that being said, let's get our headphones, make sure that they're on, them bitches is on, and let's just get into it. Okay, so this is in the south. Oh shit! Pucci backstory. Pucci brothers backstory. That's... Oh my god, would she... She switched them? Oh. No, do you know how sick that is? Dominic? That was Weather Report's name? Also, god damn, Pucci's mom is blonde as fuck. Oh wow. Could be happiness and he saw death as something totally different. Oh my god. Tale from well-known clergyman in the 18th century when young man showed interest in pursuing priesthood. Okay, so this is just how he became a chaplain. Was that a Dio shoe? I didn't know Dio's goofy ass shoes anywhere. What the fuck? What was that fucking noise? Yeah, boy, Dio is handsome. Why they draw him so fucking handsome in this part? Is he limping? This is true. I could be a horrible person. I love that basically his answer is, well, nobody would make up a story so bizarre. Oh fuck, he was giving. Oh okay. No. Oh no. Oh my god. Damn, that sensual touch. Ooh, that charisma. He was his at that moment. Fix your foot. Oh, fuck. He fixed him. Oh my god, is this how he finds out? Is he how he finds out that he has a brother? Oh, this the same woman. Oh, fuck. Oh. Oh, fuck. What? What a coincidence. Oh, fuck. My man is handsome. Stop playing. Oh, is that that's what's his name? Ooh. Mink. Ooh. Man, this is gonna be so confusing trying to figure out that. Okay, weather report was switched with. Okay, so his name's Wes. What? How hard is that, my nigga? How hard is that? My name's Wes, but they call me Weather. What the fuck? How do you not get bitches with that? Ew, this is true. Confessions are confidential. Okay. Oh my fucking god! No! Nigga, that's incest! I mean, you don't know, but is that incest? Wait. It's incest! It is incest! Okay, yep. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I mean, shit, by any means. Yeah. Oh, this is about to go so bad. This dude does not look... That guy does not look trustworthy at all. Is it darkness? Oh. Oh. Oh no. Oh no! There's the KKK! Oh, no way! Nah, bro, this is insane. Holy shit! The KKK? Oh, fuck! Okay, maybe they're not the KKK. Maybe they're just racist. I mean, but they're definitely racist. But like, oh, these Niggas are demons. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh shit! What the fuck? I love that he yells that he should be punished and Dio pulls up. Holy shit. What? Nigga, what is going on? Holy shit. Holy shit. This episode is so hard. Holy shit. Both brothers asking the exact same thing. I can't believe it, and Faye just kept bringing him back. Oh my god. Oh my god. Please. No one knew? Okay, great. I thought you were going to give me an answer. Oh my god. What the? Oh my god. This is fucking insane. Yo, this shit is so cool. Oh my god. Yo, this shit is so hard. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh, this is so crazy. This is so crazy. Oh my god. Fuck. Yep, just gotta pull. Oh my god. What? I yes, I want to watch the credits. I I do not know what that man weather report was out there killing KKK members or just racist people because it was the time. So maybe they weren't KKK members. Maybe they're just racist. But still, it was oh my, that was fucking insane. My God, what a banger! What a banger! That was such a good episode. That was such a good episode, bro. That was just amazing, perfect, just so good. Oh my God, that was what a cooker of an episode. What a cooker of an episode. We got the backstory, and that shit was fire. First of all, we start off with this this story about a woman who apparently lost her child, was pretty much dead on arrival, switched the dying baby out with weather report, or Wes as we know him now. I thought his name was Dominic, or maybe they were going to name him Dominic. Doesn't matter. Wes or weather report switched it out with Wes. Wes then lived a what did switched it out with switched it out with Wes. So the kid, so Wes was with the mom, and the kid was buried, thinking that with the parents thinking that he just didn't make it. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. I to start off with that in this story is insane, because I assumed that some shit had to have gone down in order for all of this to happen, right? For it all to come to this, right? But the randomness of this woman taking her dead child, switching it out with another child, and raising that one to replace the dead child, and bringing it all into, you know, to where we're at now is insane. But not only that, but the coincidences continue with Father Pucci running into Dio randomly because Dio's hiding out from the sun and stuff like that. And it's all these coincidences that we see throughout this episode that lead up to everything that we're experiencing in the last episode. And while yes, you could be like, oh my God, so many very convenient coincidences that have been going on in order to get here, you know, that's real convenient, all this other stuff, right? That's cool. But what is really showing is that fate was locked in. Fate was locked in when all this shit was happening. I think that a lot of what fate does, I think that fate itself is very neutral, right? It doesn't do any good, it doesn't do any bad, though we perceive it all as good or bad, right? But fate is very neutral. And what we're seeing here is that fate itself was working overtime here. And with us understanding how big of a part fate plays into this episode, or not episode, Jesus fucking Christ. Since we know from watching pretty much all of JoJo up until now how important of a part fate plays in this show, we can see this moment or this episode in a new light, whereas another anime I'd just be like, oh my God, how lucky for you, you know what I'm saying? How convenient, what a coincidence, all this other stuff, and I just chalk it all up to things happening because the story requires it to happen, right? Which is also fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Because stories have to go on, stories have to be told, and things have to happen in order for stories to be told. Sometimes they're coincidences, sometimes they're crazy, but that's what makes it a story, right? But in this situation on this show, it's a lot different, because since we know that Fate is neutral. Fate is unyielding, and fate is omnipotent. Um, we can see this as as fate creating that gravitational pull that Pucci now has at the moment, right? We can see this and appreciate these mishaps and these switch and swaps and these Freaky Friday situations as more of a less of a coincidence and more of a story element that is actually putting in work at the moment, right? So it's really cool. It's really cool the way that this show makes you see coincidences in a different light, right? It makes you imagine that maybe well, I was about to go into like the idea of free will and stuff, but I rather not this video be like 2 or 3 hours long. But what I will say is that it's really impressive the way that this show recontextualizes the idea of convenience, the idea of fate that we know very well from other shows, not just anime, but just like other shows and movies. Like, we know of the concept very well, but the way that this show uses it to recontextualize things that happened seasons and seasons ahead, right, is really impressive. That's just me saying that the writing style for all this, the writing in general for all this is really impressive. Araki does a really good job just not suspending your not a what's it called, suspensive belief, or you know what I mean, right? Suspending your belief. It's not just that, right? It's making you at least accept what is going, like giving you a reason for why things are happening the way that they are, right? Of course, every show needs a reason, or not every show needs it. Let me not say that. Of course, you are expecting reasons for things happening in a lot of shows, but in this way, you get your reason. It's a very blanket. Not only is it a blanket statement or a blanket theory, but it's also a very good reason for these things to be happening. It's weighted. You know what I'm saying? It has, what's the word I'm looking for? It has meaning to it. There's meaning to the whole fate thing. It's not just something to say, oh, it was fate that this happened because I'm the main character, this person is the main character, or you are an important character. It's a device. It's a tool for writing in order that's used to actually give the more metaphysical things more meaning in this show, right? So Araki does a fantastic job of doing that, and in this episode specifically, and having Father Pucci and you knowing about him and what this part is all about, it's just so fucking good. It's so good. I think I've said this before, and I think I'm just going to continue saying it, but I never expected JoJo to be like this, right? Like, I knew it was going to be goofy, right? Like, I've known since the beginning that JoJo was going to be kind of goofy, or maybe it was just like real macho or stuff like that. I didn't really know what I was expecting when I got into JoJo, but like, dear God, to get into this shit and really have like really good reasons for what's going on, like to get so ethereal in your show and to have really good reasons is so difficult that I have only watched a couple, I mean like a handful of shows that make me go, oh yeah, that makes sense, and it works, right? This is one of those shows, and I genuinely mean I could count on one hand how many shows I've seen that genuinely make me go, oh shit, there's my answer. It all makes sense. You know, and I mean, if I were to even count on that one hand, I probably wouldn't use all my fingers. So very, very impressive, the writing in this show. I just have to say that because while watching this episode, it truly felt like we were tying things together. We were understanding why these things were happening. And on that note, let me actually shift a little bit to the actual episode and Father Pucci himself, right? This man has gone through some shit. I don't know what I want to talk about first, because there's Father Pucci and everything that he's gone through, and there's also the duality of Father Pucci and Wes. I should probably say Enrico Pucci and Wes, right? These are the two. Oh wait, I just realized his name's Wes because the mom named him Wes. The kid, or the Pucci's parents, were going to name him Dominic. I'm an idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. But back to the actual episode. So Pucci he's gone through some shit, and this episode shows it in spades. First off, we get him meeting Dio for the first time. He is talking, he's having a conversation with God, asking him, on this day, you know, my brother died on the same day that I was born, or that we were born. And he asks, why did fate choose him, right? Instead of saying, hey, why did he die, or like, you know, like, why can't you bring him back, or anything like that you would expect a person of fate to ask, you know, or somebody that's in the faith to ask, you know, that those are some normal questions. I have asked those questions. I'm sure other people that are have been in church or anything like that have asked those questions. Even though I haven't been to church in so fucking long, so maybe I'm not the best person to talk about it. But I'm sure that a lot of people of faith, no matter whether it's Christianity, Catholicism, or whatever, they have asked that question to their God, right? Why did this person die? Why can't you bring this person back? Why is this happening to me? But Enrico Pucci asks a very different question. He asks, why did fate choose my brother? This, and as we said, fate is neutral. As the viewer, I see fate as a neutral party. It is an all-powerful party, but it is neutral. So for Pucci to ask, why did fate choose my brother? I assume that he sees death in a different light, right? Of course he was sad when Perla died, but it seems like, at least in this situation, he saw his brother's death as maybe not such a good thing, but definitely not a bad thing. He saw it as his brother being chosen in order to ascend, move on, become something greater. And we've talked time and time again on how people of faith do not see death as the end all be all, you know, like for others that are out of the faith, or like don't have a religion that they abide by, or anything like that. Like for me personally, I don't have any religion I personally abide by, so like death is just, that's it, unfortunately. Like, would I like it to be more? Sure, but that's it. But for Pucci and for other people of faith, they see fate, or they see death as the beginning. So for Pucci, when he asks fate, or when he's talking just to the heavens, Like, why did fate choose my brother? He is seeing this as a more as a bet a better thing than you would think dying would be, right? So we can already see the seeds of Pucci being sown here. We could see that he was already a little different. What made it worse was everything that went down later, because he also asked, like, why do people suffer, all this other stuff, which is also very normal questions to ask when in the faith, right? So we could already see Father Pucci not unraveling, but showing who he is deep down inside, his beliefs deep down inside, which are extremely interesting, especially when you put when a magnifying glass is being put towards it, with the appearance of Dio and everything that happened before. So we get Dio. He shows up, and he's a handsome man. He's a handsome man. But he easily wins over Enrico with his sheer charisma. And for Dio, this is well, no, let me take that back. For Pucci, this is a moment of divinity, whereas for Dio, this might be more of a moment of opportunity. So when Dio shows up to Pucci and is like, yo, he's like, I'm allergic to the sun and stuff like that, Dio sees something a little different in Pucci, right? He sees something very accepting in Pucci, because Dio says, well, I could be a robber, I could be a thief or something like that, I could be here to destroy or kill or something like that. And Pucci basically says, well, nobody would make up something so stupid, right? Basically, like, allergic to the sun, that's bizarre. We no way you would just make that up. So it's real. So he believed him, and I believe that this is a sign of the first trust that they shared together. This was the first time that they trusted each other. So I do like the beginning of this episode, just kind of setting up in a very small way but important way, the relationship between Dio and Pucci. But I guess we should kind of get into some real shit now. Pucci obviously, or Dio obviously fixes Pucci's foot, which kind of solidifies this moment for Pucci as a very divine moment for him, a moment of divinity, because he was basically healed. So of course it's going to stay in the back of his mind, like Dio wanted him to do, right? Which is top tier seizing of the moment and opportunity by Dio, but it's Dio. So we get basically the Dio goes away, goofy ass sound effects and shit, and you have Pucci, who is in the confession and actually hears the woman that took his brother, gets the lead, and which is another crazy convenient twist that it's like, oh yeah, it's the brother, or it's the mom, which is, yeah, it's convenient, but once again, it is fate working its magic. So he gets the lead, and he's immediately plotting to actually, or he's immediately at least thinking about rectifying the situation. It becomes more urgent when Paula, is that her name? Perla. When Perla and Wes actually start dating. which we see in right here. So Perla admits to Enrico that she is dating somebody, and he is immediately, seeing that it's Wes. He's like, oh shit, it's him. He's trying to stop incest, basically, which is understandable, right? And this brings me to my next point. What Pucci was doing wasn't wrong, right? And there was moments in this episode where the narrator was asking, like, who, like, all this mother was doing was doing this, and all, and also, like, explain what everybody was doing, but nobody was doing anything wrong per se. And Pucci was among one of the people that he wasn't really doing anything wrong. He was just trying to stop incest from happening because he knew that would hurt his sister. I can't blame the man for that, right? And I don't think anybody really could blame the man for that. But that's the same way that you couldn't blame Perla for falling in love, Wes for falling in love, the parents for basically raising them, the mother for taking, even though that is like, yo, you would probably go to jail if you did that. But the mother, I should probably preface that. Yeah, you will go to jail for doing that. But the mother was basically grief-stricken, was not thinking, was acting out of desperation, and made a very split decision, right? Technically, the mother wasn't trying to do anything wrong. But like I said, this brings me to my next point, which is all the road to hell is paved with very, very good intentions. And nobody ever knows where exactly they're going while paving that road. They think they know, but they don't, which is why you have the saying that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Nobody in that situation was doing anything wrong. Everybody was trying to be the happiest that they could be and make everybody else around them the happiest that they could be. Where everything went wrong was the racist guy and his group of clans members. That was when things got wrong. That's when you invited evil into the situation, which, amen. The KKK is not a very nice organization. Now, I should probably say I think they were just like racists. I don't think they were actually KKK members because I didn't see any of like the hoods or anything, but it doesn't really matter. But that's when things went wrong, is when actual evil was added to the situation. Outside of that, everybody was just doing their best in order to have a happier future. But what this does is that it shows us, if you haven't already figured it out, that Father Pucci is not bad. He's crazy. He may be crazy. I'm not going to lie about that. He may be crazy. He may be losing it because of everything that has happened. But what he's doing, what he's trying to do, is for the good of everybody. And we had this conversation a couple episodes ago, a while ago, I guess you can actually say, because this is episode 32. I'm pretty sure we had this conversation maybe almost 10 episodes ago, actually, now I think about it, that Father Pucci is such a compelling character, or a compelling villain, because he's not technically wrong. The best antagonists are technically not wrong, and Father Pucci is one of them, because what he's doing, if you put that on paper and you gave like minimum, like if you put that on paper, showed it to somebody, but didn't like give them the nitty gritty details, they'd probably say, oh yeah, that's great, everybody's happy in this world, everybody goes to heaven, you know, we're all smiling, there's no more fear or anxiety or anything like that. That sounds amazing, right? And only people that of desperation, or people that are simply clouded by ignorance, bliss, or desperation would truly see the full scope of that plan and be like, oh yeah, it's great, right? Which is why we see Pucci going through with it, right? But other than that, everybody, most people, you know, people would see that and be like, oh, that's great, right? So yeah, all, you know, the path, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You see Pucci trying to do good in order to meet this end, but you also get to see how other people in Pucci's life were trying to do the same thing alongside of Pucci. It's just that it didn't work out. It didn't work out very well. Now we also have, I guess we should kind of talk about Wes, who is fucking he is a sicko. He's great, right? Really cool. Weather Report is really cool, but obviously even back then he was still cool as fuck. But what Weather Report, the interesting thing about Weather Report is, right, we've been talking about how like Weather Report is the yin to Pucci's yang. He's the opposite. He's like the opposing force of what Pucci is, right? And in that way, he's the opposing force is in his ideologies, which is also something that we talked about in the last discussion. You see how in the episode you have Pucci, who is very what's the word I'm looking for? Pucci, who is very interested in I guess help out. Rudimentary way to say is interested in helping people, right? He had a very more positive outlook on things, whereas Weather Report is a little different. Pucci sees his life as something to as a tool to be used to do good in the world. Whether that's actually good or not is up to interpretation. Weather Report sees his death as something good in the world because he sees his life as not that fucking great. Which is understandable because of, I mean, the dude got hanged and tortured by the clan. Yeah. And who's to say what kind of life he had as a baby? I mean, I think the mom that switched the kids said something about it, but who knows what kind of life they had he had as a kid. But we have Weather Report, the complete opposite of Pucci here, and showing the complete opposite of Pucci here by showing how fucked his life turned out eventually, and all because Pucci was trying to do something good. Did he actually? Maybe he tried, but it ended up ruining Wes, I should probably actually call him. But I was getting off topic a little bit, but back to Weather Report. He gets tortured by the racist people, Klansmen, whatever you want to call them, and you have a moment um where Perla decides to kill herself, and Pucci finds the body, or when they're getting her body out of the water and stuff like that. And in this moment also, Weather Report is waking up, eventually finds out what happens, goes out, tries to figure out what's going on, and it's Weather Report's like awakening in his anger and his rage that eventually causes the whole snails thing happening, which is the first time, I guess it's the first time that actually happened. uh really cool to see how it eventually started, though we didn't get any answer on like why it's happening, and I don't think it matters to really get an answer on why the snails are happening or anything like that. I don't think it's too much of a oh, we have to know about the snails. um but it was simply cool just to see that that through the good that Poochie tried to do, he brought upon this plague of snails from Weather Report, which he then had to actually not stop but postpone. I should probably say, because he eventually started it again, but he had to postpone by going out and fighting Wes, or his brother, which ended up with him dead, because a man without his memories is basically dead. So it's really cool that we continue to talk about Poochie, or Enrico, I should probably say, for this episode specifically. How we see Enrico, or we talked about how Enrico and Wes, I was about to call him Weather again, how Enrico and Wes are these two opposing forces, but also getting this episode that also, this backstory episode that serves as this reinstallation of understanding that they are these opposing forces, like to the point that throughout the fate stuff, Weather Report can't even die because of fate, and how fate has this plan for everybody, that it's apparently this what Poochie is doing. Well, Poochie's more or less speeding it up, I should probably say. But it's really fucking interesting stuff. A little more on Poochie. Getting under this episode kind of shows you, or has you understand why he's doing this, which in a lot of ways, if you remember Dio, and if you remember Dio, yeah, you remember Dio, but if you remember how Dio was and how Poochie is in like his thought process on like why do people have to suffer and stuff like that, it makes a lot of sense why he's doing this heaven plan thing, right? Because you want to make sure nobody else has to suffer like that, right? And I think we talked about this in the last episode, or a couple episodes ago, that anybody that would go through this had to have gone through something that made them assume that this was the best thing for people, is that in this way nobody gets hurt, everybody's happy. Like, who's gonna complain if everybody's happy in this situation? I said that and I thought about it. I was like, yeah, a couple people would, but you can understand why he did this. This episode in general is just a really fucking good one. This was a really good episode. Like, we got everything in this episode, at least everything that I would want out of like the knowledge that I need from Poochie, which is I mean, that shit is crazy. That shit is genuinely crazy to me, like how good the writing was for this episode. And it was genuinely crazy. But now that we have understanding of like who Enrico Pucci is and also who Weather Report is, now I can actually kind of the fights coming up will have more weight to it. And in a lot of ways, I don't expect any fights really coming up, right? Because as I said, fighting is almost doesn't matter at the moment, because of what Pucci is doing, and we see how strong Fate is in this episode. So fighting for Jolene, at least, Jolene in the gang, you know, fighting seems null and void, in a lot of ways, where I think we're at the moment where Fate is so locked in that whatever you do won't matter until Pucci actually goes through with his plan. Like I said, this episode really locked in how serious the show is about Fate, and for the other characters to go out there and actually kill Pucci right now wouldn't make much sense. Even though we're pretty close to the end, I would assume that there would have to be a moment where it actually happens, and then that's when Pucci's the most vulnerable, when he's actually living throughout this new heaven thing that he's creating, which we still don't really know whether whether he's creating a new universe, or he's creating a loop within this universe, or he's accelerating time to like us living in a singularity, which I think that's more of the thought here, is that he's accelerating time into a singularity, which will create a new universe that everybody can live in, that will have all the parameters that we talked about time and time again, you know, the lack of anxiety, and there's happiness and all this other stuff. So that would be when you would expect for Pucci to be the most vulnerable. Oh my god, I lost the episode. Fuck, I was talking for too long. But going back to the episode a little bit before we close out, just everything that was going down. I really hope that we get more Weather Report. Now, I know that right now what's going on is pretty much all Weather Report, but I'm hoping that we get more present day Weather Report, because what he says to Anastasia, or Ansui, I should probably say, what he says to Ansui is really interesting, in the way of like him saying, yo, you have to kill me. Like I'm trusting you to kill me, because as we know, or as we've seen in this episode, Fate won't let Wes die. And it's, I guess, whenever you hear like, oh, that person can't die, you think of it as like a good thing. Oh, they can't die, it's cool. But when you see this episode and you understand everything that Weather Report had to go through in order to, well, not even in order for anything, just what he had to go through, you kind of understand why he would want to die. But it's also just a thing of like, yo, the snails are taking over, you have to kill me. But it's interesting to me, or at least Weather Report himself is interesting to me, because he's a character that wants to die, and like is literally fated to survive up until whatever point it decides that it wants you to die, I guess. What he's asking here is, what we've always kind of like thought JoJo was about, which is defying fate. Fate has him locked in to live. Somebody help him to die, right? It's a JoJo has a really interesting way of reminding its viewers how important certain themes are. Not in like a very on the nose way, but more of a subtle way of reminding its viewers like, hey, by the way, this is what we're locked in on, right? And I think this last moment with Ansui and Weather Report is one of those moments where the show is reminding you to lock back into this, right? So it's all really, I mean, it's all really good stuff. I can't even imagine like the next episode and like what's to come, because this shit so far, this third batch has been incredible. So I can't, when that nigga actually go, like when he actually does like when he actually like uses his stand, because I just realized that we haven't even seen Father Pucci use his new stand. He's basically just been flying by the seat of his pants with fate at the moment, because he knows that he's good. So when he actually uses it, damn, that's gonna be fucking insane. That's gonna be insane. I'm man, I need to hurry and finish this. I need to hurry and finish this. But in conclusion, this episode really showed you that though Father Pucci is the antagonist, he's not the bad guy. And I think that a lot of shows do that to show people like, hey, this guy isn't, he might be doing something that you don't want him to do, but he's technically not doing it because he's evil. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's doing it because he truly believes that this is the best option for the world, is for people to to basically all die and be reborn into this new world or to be shepherded into this new world that lacks the suffering, pain, and anxiety that the last world had in it. So it's really interesting stuff. It's really profound stuff, just in a goofy rapping sometimes, which is basically what JoJo is. But this was great. Also getting to see Weather Report kill a racist is also cool. But I believe that's pretty much all that I have to say. I'm gonna try to somewhat respect everybody's time here, and not make this a too long video, or at least for my standards. But I believe we've pretty much talked about everything in this episode, which is a fantastic, probably one of my favorite episodes of JoJo. And it's just fucking amazing. It was just fucking amazing. I'm at a loss of words. I'm trying to see right now if there's anything that I missed. And of course, if I did miss something, I guess I'll come back on and talk about it. But I think we got everything. Yeah, this was really good. This was really fucking good. Every week it gets harder and harder for me to actually stick to my one episode a week schedule, but I got to. So if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. You're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or something totally different, the best place in that in, As always, my social media link's going to be in the description below. And if you want these episodes early, subscribe to my Patreon. Link's going to be in the description for that as well. We also have the full length reaction to these episodes on Patreon. And we have a Discord if you want to join that and talk more JoJo or whatever else we're watching on the channel. So with all that being said, let me get my off button ready. There it is. You all stay amazing, stay safe, and take care of yourselves.